Hey everyone, welcome to the Discover Virginia podcast. I'm Joseph Trahan, your host for the #1 video podcast in Virginia, where we explore the rich history, vibrant culture, and iconic businesses that make our Commonwealth truly special and worth talking about. So get ready as together we discover Virginia. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Discover Virginia podcast. Today I have a bonus episode for you from our past guest, Jean Narcisse. Jean, author, thought leader, and diplomat to the U.S. John's coming back with us to talk about his new book, The Next Young African Hero, and also his book, From Values to Value. John, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Well, Jean, there's been a lot of changes, both in the political sector and global trade by and large since we last talked in the fall of 2024. We have since had a presidential election and campaign. Can you catch us up to speed about some of the changes that have transpired since our last episode?
Again, I want to thank you for hosting me one more time. There is a lot of changes in the international development space, especially in the diplomatic area. Since President Trump came into power the second time, in Africa, his first move was to cut a lot of fundings in the international development space because from the Doge report, there has been a lot of fraud, a lot of corruptions in the area. And a lot of international nonprofits and even government depend on USAID to fund the national project in the healthcare space, education space, and this situation has created a lot of job loss. I got many friends who are not working no more because of the funding losses. And this also comes at a time where the international economic order is being reframed because America wants to make sure that the funding is good. Where they want it to go.
Right.
And also try to have partners that support the foreign policy priorities. Because for me, which is normal, we can always think about international when locally you are still struggling. So even when my views have been rejected by a lot of international leaders in this space, I still maintain that President Trump is doing a good job. Yeah, let's wait. I think it's too early to evaluate, the impact of those actions in Africa. I think by the end of the year, we should be able to have a clear, a clear overview of those impacts in Africa.
Absolutely. Sean, you answered my next question. So obviously there has been a lot of changes since we last spoke, and the U.S. diplomatic space for you specifically has seen lots of changes, as you mentioned, folks losing their jobs and Doge making sure that they are, quote, cutting back the government spending due to fraud or abuse or just misuse of funds. Sounds like it's too soon to tell for you, correct? Or is there any other, how do you think that transition has been thus far from what we have seen just over these past 100 days?
I can see a lot of challenges and at the same time opportunities. The challenges go to international actors, and also the opportunities come in America. Because from the saving that are being projected, this can benefit the local economy here in America by creating jobs, by make sure that small businesses have funding to operate.
Right. Because what you do is to advocate on behalf of those individuals to get funding from the government.
Yeah, funding.
And the government has said, no, we're actually cutting back.
Yes, because from what I've seen, the U.S. international diplomatic space was overstaffed. And working abroad, this requires a lot of financial resources, both in the security area and the economics area, and also in building the cooperation, with those countries where diplomats, actually work. So, even if I can say it is too early, it's too early to have a clear overview of what the consequences will be. But we have seen that the US has been able to actually shift, its priorities a little bit, and I think that's going the right way.
Absolutely. And as a thought leader, that's very well spoken and well said of you, if we still need more time, right?
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
jumping to your book, The Next Young African Hero, I'd love to hear about who this hero is, the story, and what inspired you to write it, and also to begin to share this part of your journey.
Yes, thank you. This is a very it's a great question. I didn't want to write this book, but a lot of people that have known me from my small village, pushed me to write.
Shout out to Côte d'Ivoire, right?
Yes, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
Yes, they asked me to, to write my story, because for me it's a first step in the declaration of an ambition to run for office for the next the 25 years. And they pushed me to write this to share my story, both with the challenges that I've been able to face, and also how I've been able to be stable, be consistent for more than 2 decades. And in this book, there's a concept that is called your circle of impact. For me and from my experience, my impact, I can say the power of my impact have always been more important than the challenges. I know I'll be facing challenges because I didn't have the resources, but I have to focus on 3 words. Okay, prayer, hope, hard work. And in hard work, I mean consistency. I've been consistent over the years, and I've been always consistent in the work. Sometimes there's some setback. I'll take some time back, but I'll come back, and also another part of this book was I almost got destroyed by the African diaspora in Washington, D.C. because of my writings. I like to write. I like to be very, very, when I write on something, I don't take somebody else's views. I express my own views. So when I wrote my last book, and the title was The Geopolitics of ACFTA, the book was not well received in the African diaspora, and I was criticized. And many doors were closed, they closed a lot of doors. And I told them that, of course, if I'm going to be engaging in a battle, and I will win the battle. So I won the battle last January, and I decided to take this battle to the next level by writing books and by pushing other young people that don't have the capacity to do what I do. That even when it comes to America, you can chart your own way. You don't have to follow what people want you to follow. Because when it comes to America, in African diaspora, at a certain way that they want you to behave, you have to follow the crowd. And I said, no, I came here alone. I came with a vision and a mission, and I can do it by myself. I can chart my own way, and I will succeed. And that's where, I tried to publish this first book. And then when I was writing the first book, I faced a big challenge. And,
What challenge was that, Jean?
the challenge was that I received a call from a minister in Ghana, and he was asking me. He asked me a question: "Are you an African?" I say, "Yes." "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm from Cote d'Ivoire." I say, "So why do you criticize, our project in the trade area?" I say, "I'm not criticizing the project, but I'm trying to make sure that, we follow, because you have a clear guideline. I want to make sure that the way we conduct the project follows the African Union directives, not just go after the money. We want the work to be done." And he asked me, "What do you want? Do you need money?" And asking, "So I trying to correct my values?" And that's why I began to write the second book, From Values to Value. So this book is a rejection, of the man calling me to asking me to correct my own values,
Wow.
for money.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Jean, thank you for that. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about your next book, From Values to Values.
thank you.
Hey everyone, Michael here from Behind the Camera. Right now we're taking a quick break to acknowledge and thank our wonderful studio host, Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. When it comes to getting information and guidance on financing your next home purchase, we recommend talking with Atlantic Bay. They are one of the original lending institutions in our home city of Virginia Beach, and have a long resume of getting the job done well and making your home buying experience more enjoyable. So, if you're looking to experience Virginia full-time, consider checking them out today at www.atlanticbay.com. Disclosure: loan programs may change at any time with or without notice. Information deemed reliable but not guaranteed. All loans subject to income verification, credit approval, and property appraisal. Not a commitment to lend. Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, LLC, NMLS number 72043, NMLSconsumeraccess.org is an equal housing lender. And now, back to today's show.
And we are back. If you're just now joining us, Jean Narcisse is an author, thought leader, and diplomat to the U.S., and we are meeting with him today talking about his new book, The Next Young African Hero, and From Values to Value. Jean, welcome back. As you were saying before the break, you had this unique challenge where an individual from your own community was criticizing the work that you were doing, and that kind of prompted your next book, From Values to Value. Can you tell us a little bit more about that dilemma, and also what made you decide to continue writing about it and just sharing that with others?
Yes. And this, I know when I began to write the book, I know that people were calling me because when I published my book last year, I received a lot of emails, phone calls, WhatsApp messages, and asking me, why I was doing what I was doing. So From Values to Value is as a social, as a thought leader in the social innovation space. Sometimes we don't have the resources to operate, and our values are extremely important because I remember back in the day in Cote d'Ivoire, government officials will ask you to sell your project because they want to use it to go after funding, And I always rejected those views. And when the minister coming from Ghana asking me to do the same thing, I decided to go for another book and actually put in a book that will inspire other young people to reject, this type of corruption. Because for me, values like light, so they shine, your ways. And when you lose sight of the values, the work you do, you are now looking for impact. I'm actually looking for impact, in our financial resources. So, and in the book, I also develop a couple of concepts. We have personal values, we have community values, and we have what they call public values. So our personal values are the most important values that we have. Because when you grow up in a family, You take that from home. When you go to school, you bring that values to school. And at the same time, when you join a community, a certain value that you have to follow as well. And that's what leaders you in the public sector, to do the work, because they associate those two values. And correcting those values is losing, your humanity. And that's something that I've been rejecting over the years. And a lot of those were close, in a lot of areas. But I do what I do. I believe in my writing, in my work. I've been writing for nearly 28 years now. I've been reviewing a lot of international work. So for me, it's more than a writing. It's a calling. It is a calling. And what is a calling, you have to do it the right way. So that's what the book is about.
I love that. I love this, Jean, and shining that light, as you alluded to. The values is the light that helps guide people. For those looking to pick up a copy of the book and also, read through and begin to experience your work, because, like you said, you've been an author for quite some time now. What's the one thing that you want people to take away from this next book that you have, From Values to Value?
Is to always prioritize the value over money, because I've seen a lot of young people being destroyed here in African diaspora because of that. When I go to meetings, I went to the World Bank meeting a couple of time ago, and I've seen young people being blocked because they have allowed themselves to be in a certain circle where they know that when they go there, they will lose sight of their values.
Sure. So individuals that are being bribed.
So they have laws. They will tell them that, okay, if you come here, you'll be hired. They hire them for a year and they get fired.
Mm.
So I know a lot of people that have been destroyed. So I want them to prioritize the values over anything else in life. Because that was make, a leader a leader.
Yeah.
And I've been consistent, in my values.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jean, thank you for sharing that. Where can folks go to get a copy of this book and to also access some of your other works that you've spoken of as well?
Okay, the book will be available this week. I got some delay because of the KDP platform. I got some little challenges, but the book is being published today. It will take 3 days, and by Friday, people should be able to have it on Amazon. And now, I want to also take this. I'm taking this writing to the next step, and we're also launching a platform. Maybe we can have another time to talk about it. I will call it a globally TED. When I won the intellectual battle, I wanted to create a platform to let young people express their writing talent. And actually, because from the storytelling, they can do a lot in that. I've seen a lot of people who have come, who have come from that, from their writing to be global leaders. They write their own stories, they shape their own stories, so, and that's what this will follow after the book launch.
Absolutely, Jean. Thank you again. And of course, thank you to our dedicated listeners for checking us out. If you want to hear more about Jean's story, definitely hit that subscribe button and follow along. He'll be joining us later on this month, in the month of May 2025, to be talking about building a school inside his nonprofit business, as well as diplomacy in the digital space. I can't wait for you to hear that. So definitely hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in another episode very soon. Thanks, Jean.
Thanks for having me.